Good. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is our InterSystems Developer Contest Kickoff meeting. We are very excited to be with you once again. I'm going to share my screen. Today's contest kickoff is on InterSystems operability and with a special focus on building sustainable solutions. I will walk through this contest announcement page and go over some of the details. And then we have a special guest speaker, Tomas, who's going to describe a little bit more about what sustainability is, why it's important, and kind of things that might be of interest related to a solution you might build. So today's contest is kicking off today, August 29th, and it goes through September 18th. We're very excited that we've updated the prize money and prize distribution, and I'll describe a little more about that in just 1 minute. So let me drop down here to the topic. So you will be building interoperability solutions for InterSystems IRIS or IRIS for Health. You can build any interoperability solution, but we do invite you to focus on sustainability and a sustainable development problem. And we will be publishing very shortly a list of both technical bonuses that can apply to your project, as well as topic bonuses. And we'll get that out and add this to this announcement very shortly. But just note that there will be a special bonus if you can work on a sustainability issue, an environmental, social, or corporate governance, that's ESG, alternative energy sources, optimum utilization, and so forth. There will also be a special bonus if you submit a data set related to sustainability, ESG, alternative energy sources, and so on. It's very much the case that data powers solutions, so there will be a bonus for that as well. As always, the way we do this is that you will be submitting an open exchange application or significantly modifying an existing one that you have created. Again, the application should work on either IRIS Community Edition, IRIS for Health Community Edition, or IRIS Advanced Analytics Community Edition. The application must be open source and published on GitHub, and there must be a README in English containing the installation steps and either a video demo and or a description of how the application works. In terms of the prizes, we have increased the prizes and we've altered the prize distribution in a very positive way, as you can see here. So first place will be receiving $5,000. Second place is $3,000. Third place is $1,500. Fourth place is $750. Fifth place is $500. And then we'll be awarding $100 for the 6th through 10th. So you can see that we've dramatically expanded the number of places that we'll be awarding. And as always, there are community winners as well. The expert panel is voted on by the experts in InterSystems, and then community winners will be voted on by the developer community itself. And there'll be a first place of $1,000, second place of $750, and third place of $500. So again, total prize money for this contest is over $13,000. Let me drop down here and go over the important deadlines. Again, the kickoff is today. The deadline for having a submission is September 11th. There will be a voting period between September 12th and September 18th. And as always, developers can improve their apps through the voting period as well. So you do not have to stop enhancements or development on the 11th, but go through the 18th. So who can participate? Any developer community member except for InterSystems employees. We do allow InterSystems contractors to participate. You do not have to work alone. You can work in a team, and we recommend it. Some of the best applications have been team efforts. And so you can have between 2 and 5 developers in a team, but don't forget to highlight that in your README of all of the people that worked on the project. We have some great resources for you to learn more if you're a little bit unfamiliar with InterSystems technology, or even if you are familiar but want to get more advanced and learn about particular topics. We have some great resources. This one is brand new. We have a new interactive tutorial based on a tool called Instruct. And so you can follow this link for an InterSystems interoperability example, and it'll walk you through.
I think we lost Dean for a moment, and I will continue that. Can you hear me? Yes, I hope yes. So let me share my screen.
Check those out as well. We also have online courses and videos, as well as some of our getting started guides that have been around for a few months here. Again, we have the details on submitting an application in Open Exchange if you have not participated in a contest before. And if you need any help, you can either comment right on this post in the InterSystems developer community, or you can join our community in the Discord, and you can interact with developers and experts there as well. There is a terms and conditions of all our contests, so please follow this link and read those very carefully, and good luck. We're super excited about this contest. Again, if you've been an active part in these contests, you'll see that very recently we've started to look at big topics and world issues. Our last one was climate change, and this was sustainability. We're amazed at the work that you've done, and we're excited to see what you will do in this case. So at this point, let me pass it over to Tomas to give you a little more information about sustainability and why it is so important. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Dean. I hope everyone can hear me and see me. It is the most usual intro of video conferences these days, is to make sure that you are there and you can hear whoever is talking. So it's always great to give me a thumbs up that it's working. It's amazing that we are about to settle on Mars, but still we are not sure whether video conferencing here on Earth works smoothly. But today I'd like to talk a bit about sustainability, especially from a practical coder perspective, someone who has just entered this amazing competition and would like to win it. And of course, it's not of course about winning, it's about winning in a great race that makes sense and makes the world a better place. And I think the main issue before deciding what to build in a quite short period of time is to really understand that you can build a sustainable solution, an app, for anything, to promote really bad behavior with people. You can just make it more irresponsible by building a great app that will motivate people to behave in the wrong way. And so it's a very good start before you opt for one thing or another in terms of building an application, to actually decide whether it will make the desired behavior more sustainable or not. It's not about the sustainable application design. We'll talk about it as well, but on the whole, the big aim, what you should want to change is people's behavior, or maybe making a better product that will stimulate every one of us to behave in a sustainable way. So I think this is very important to think about, is my solution going to help someone, its users, to behave more responsibly, in a sustainable way, in a way that does not harm the planet, that saves resources, and makes life on Earth more viable. I'm using these grand words, but well, first because billionaires use it. You know, they are saving the Earth and traveling to other planets. But it's not nonsense. You have to think big, because if 1,000 people thought small, then it wouldn't amount to anything. You need to think big and really think about how your application is going to help people behave in a more responsible way. Now, I'll give you some idea as to what sustainability means. What is a sustainable way of life? I'll share my screen, and I'll show you a website that I recommend as a starting point. So within a couple of seconds, you should see my screen. It's not very exciting. I apologize. But I wanted to show you this website. It's the United Nations Sustainable Development website. And it lists sustainable development goals. There are 17 of them. There is a big history behind them. There is agreement, and really all efforts around the world, they focus on these 17 goals. And so this is a good starting point. If you are not sure, shall we tackle the current energy crisis in Europe, or shall we focus on global warming, or about the excessive use of plastic bags, or some poverty gaps around the world? This is a very good starting point. And as you can see, these goals are not just about energy or about healthcare and well-being around the world, but there are issues of poverty, hunger, gender equality, water affordability, clean energy, etc. There is a part about industry and infrastructure. It's not a bad idea to focus on the way industry and, let's say, a transport infrastructure works, because industry is the top consumer of all energy generated around the world. Sustainable cities and communities, that's another great area. I have not seen a lot of applications being built around sustainable cities, for example. Cities is where 55% of all population live these days, and it's going to get denser. In 2050, I think 2 out of 3 people will be living in cities. So actually, you can think about how these people are interacting, behaving, what they are doing, and of course, you can foster the connections among people in cities. There is the whole question of producing and consuming in a responsible way. It might be some plastic packaging boxes that I don't know, Uber uses to deliver your food, etc. There are small things, but really are part of the big challenge. Climate action, we hear about it all the time. But for example, about life below water, even though that's where probably most of life happens, we have no idea. So the water reservoir on the planet, I might show you a picture about water reservoir. Well, this is my wife. We don't want to see this, but this is a good picture. I discovered this on Twitter, I think about 2 days ago or yesterday, and it's all the water there is on our planet. If it were squished to form a sphere, this is the size, this is how it would look. It's all the water on the globe, in seas, oceans, rivers, clouds, everything, all the troposphere put together in a single sphere. So now you understand that there is not much water on Earth really, and it's so precious. The amount of water is not going to change; it's the same, but there is more water that is in the air instead of in our lakes and rivers, and it's not in the parts of the world where it's needed. So just to give you I like the picture. So I also saw another picture on Twitter today about all humans on Earth being ground in a meat grinder, and the size of this human meatball would fit in Central Park on Manhattan. So look up the picture yourself, but it's good for showing how insignificant the amount of people is to the size of the world. But however, this insignificant amount of people can destroy the whole world. There is life on land. So even if you are living in a city, a topic is maybe to encourage biodiversity in your cities. There is peace, justice, and strong institutions. So you can also think about an app that makes justice work smoother. So this is a great starting point. If you, with your team, want to focus on some area, then I suggest you start with the UN Sustainable Development Goals website. Study it for a bit, talk about it, and then pick whatever you think makes sense for you and can be done within the allotted time for the contest. I'll stop the screen for a while. And so what I highlighted is that it's not about sustainability per se, but it's about your solution contributing to a sustainable behavior, or about meeting or helping one of the 17 goals become reality. So you shouldn't get obsessed about what you are doing, but you should get obsessed about what it is that your solution will help to happen, will facilitate, will make it easier for people. And usually with human motivation, what your application can do is either increase something or decrease something. What do I mean? It can increase the amount of pleasure, the amount of value. It can increase happiness. It can increase speed of transactions, spread of information, and then etc. Or it can decrease. So there's a plus or minus. And what does it mean? What it means to decrease? It can decrease stress of people. It can decrease cost of something. So it saves money. It can decrease time. It can reduce the amount of time something takes to do. It can decrease inefficiencies, etc. So a good question after you decide which goal to focus on is to say, is it going to be an increase or decrease in something? And you should talk about benefits in terms of the users. You need to get yourself in their shoes and ask, how is this going to help me behave more sustainably? And my suggestion is just build it for yourself as a user, something that you can really easily decide, this makes sense for me, and I understand its benefits. If you are building an application for 100 years old Japanese woman living in Okinawa, there is no way you can get to her and ask her about whether that makes sense for her. it's better just to build something for you or your pals on your team. And then you have a direct experience with pain points for every day. And a good rule for a pain point is the 2 times toothbrush test. Famously, the founders of Google said, we will support any product or service where there is a need, there is a human pain point, it solves at least twice a day. So as you are using your toothbrush to clean your teeth in the morning and in the evening, so that's a good way of thinking. You don't want to be solving issues that arise once in a lifetime and are not particularly impactful, but just focus on everyday issues where you know there is a pain point or there is a boredom. When you are bored, you are waiting for something, and instead you could be using your time to tackle some sustainability issue. Then, of course, when we are now starting to talk about what you can do with your code to make the tool you are building to deal with sustainable issues more sustainable itself. So now we are focusing, look, so is there something I could do? I could build into my code, into the application? The answer is yes, of course. And the most critical issue in sustainability is the energy use, the amount of energy your app or website or whatever uses to operate. So if it runs on servers that are powered by coal or other energy sources that are not clean, then of course it's not really wise to use that kind of energy. If possible, you should use energy that is generated in a clean way by, I don't know, wind, solar, or whatever. So you just have to be careful where you host your solution, which servers it runs on. Of course, there are novel solutions in the way you can run your servers. I know that from France, they originated a few years ago a heating system whereby you use your server at home, even small one, to heat the room while it does all the calculations. So maybe that's some sort of synergy. The energy, I'm sure you know this, but around 10%, or I think it's above 10% right now, of the global, of all the energy that is produced globally is consumed by IT. I think it used to be 10% a few years ago. It might be maybe 13, 15% today. It's a lot. And what you can do as a product designer when you are designing your app, on top of making sure that the servers it runs on are clean and use clean energy sources, is that you can respect a few rules that are very easy to implement and reduce the amount of energy that your application consumes. Just to give you an idea, if there is a 10,000 hits on your website, that's roughly like a 5,000 bus ride, 5,000 miles. So it's quite a lot, even if it's a simple website. So what can you do when designing an app? Well, first of all, if it's I'm talking now about the user facing the front, the window to your application. I'm not a programmer myself, so you will have to, of course, use as few lines of code as possible. But the key is to minimize the use of my screen on my end as a user. So, of course, if possible, use a dark mode. If possible, don't put any media-rich content that would need to travel between the server and my iPhone or my tablet or my computer. So get rid of any rich media and put as much autonomy in the device itself, so that it doesn't have to ask the server all the time and send a huge amount of data. So I think this, if possible, it's very good to do it. It's also great not to have too many items on the menu, too many options. In reality, the way this is done is that you publish the a beta or the first version, and then see what features in your app are used. And then you keep the features that have minimum of 15% or 20% use, and whatever is below, you just get rid of it. So you can design even the app sustainably with focusing, with actually putting as much autonomy into the device, getting rid of any rich media, and getting rid of features that are not used by the users. And above all, of course, you have to think, is my app going to help to change someone else's behavior in the desired way? Of course, if you do a dark mode and still it stimulates people to act in an unsustainable way, that it really doesn't, it's not worthwhile. So I will, to end my little introduction, of course, we don't have all the time. This is a big topic. You can spend a lifetime studying sustainability, but I gave you a practical point of departure, which I think is a good way, is to start with the 17 sustainable goals, and then meet with your team and talk about your daily pain points, and then see if they fit in those domains of sustainable development. And if you find a pain point, just build an app, again, in a sustainable way, because I think that the judges will look at whether this is a very data heavy traffic thing which needs to consult with servers, whether it's not rich, whether there are not redundancies. So of course, build it in a sustainable way, but you should highlight with the application the sustainable the sustainability problem you are trying to solve out there in the world. And I'll show you just two ideas now. It's very short videos. It's ideas that actually were born at a hackathon, Green Hack, that we organized. It was a European sustainability hackathon we organized this year and last year. And there were some of the ideas that even within 2 days, you can still build a dirty prototype tackling some sustainability issues. And I want to play two of them. We don't have so much time. You can do your research and find more. But it's not very good also to give you examples, because then they will lead you in some way. This is just an illustration because it deals with some issues that are, I think, quite that are pain points and are not they are not the obvious. They don't occur immediately. So let me share the screen again, and I will play 2 videos, and maybe we can very briefly then discuss them. And until Andrew disconnects me, right? So screen again. It should take 2 seconds. Right, and oh, my browser doesn't support it. So what should I do? So hopefully we will get there. Yeah. Yes.
Hi, my name is David, and today I want to talk about the problem with furniture. Do you ever build something from IKEA and lost a screw that screwed the whole thing up? How many times do you throw out perfectly good piece of furniture just because some part went missing?
We proposed a solution.
I've created a Screw It app, and I can fix my table very easily. I can find the product from the catalog. I have all the IKEA products, and And if I'm sure what the product is, I can just click on it and buy all the missing parts or elements. Or if I'm not sure, if I don't know what piece of the furniture this is, I can scan it with my mobile phone and camera. I'm just pointing on the furniture, clicking on the scanning button, and searching for this table, and I've searched it very easily.
We believe we can achieve great sustainability with better user experience.
Just try it out.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed one of the ideas from our hackathon. So it's a mobile application, an app that actually makes it possible for users to search for spare parts if the bed, chair, table breaks, and there is something, a small part that you are missing. Then you can scan it with your phone, and it will recognize the piece of furniture and directs you to an e-shop to get the appropriate part. So this prolongs life of things that we throw away. So maybe you can think about building an app that actually increases, prolongs life of something that for some reason you have to throw away after a while. You do. Perhaps there could be a chance to repair it, fix it, or pass along. These are good strategies with physical product. Instead of throwing them away or trashing them, you think about repairing, repurposing, passing on someone else, swapping with people, and all this can be enhanced, this kind of behavior with with application. Right, I think I've run out of time. I wanted to show you a video about drones and how drones are contributing to making it easier to manage electricity grid. The masts and the power lines, they need maintenance, they need control. And in the past, this was done or is done mostly by humans traveling in cars and checking it, or helicopters for very large money. And drones these days are a big opportunity that can help with a lot of sustainable goals and energy smart grids. That's a hot topic now around the world, especially in Europe. So if you can find a way how to use artificial intelligence, other tools to service electricity grids, that's another idea. Again, it's originated with our Green Hack. So I hope, let's check my notes, that I gave you some fewer ideas. Unless Andrew or Evgeny have any questions or comments or whatever, would like me to speak here for another 2 hours. I think it's great that you all applied to this competition, and I assure you that this can be a beginning of real products, real apps that will make our life on this planet more sustainable. So a big bravo and thumbs up for you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tomas. That was excellent, inspiring, and thoughtful comments, which I know will get the creative juices flowing. I particularly love the UN sustainability goals. That's a great source of inspiration. And also your comments about also thinking about the application itself that you build and how that fits into the sustainability picture. I thought that was an excellent point as well. So again, thank you all for watching this webinar, for participating in our project. We cannot wait to see what you build. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Just a moment. Yeah, just curious if you have any questions from the audience. For those who are with us today, if you have any questions on the topic of interoperability, what Dean described you with all the technical bonuses that will be later, or maybe you have any questions to Tomas, Studenik. Thank you so much. As Tomas mentioned, he with his team ran several sustainability hackathons in Europe. So you're welcome with your questions. And yeah, if there are no questions, so you can easily follow up in developer community or on YouTube later, where this recording will be published, and of course in Discord. And yes, as Dean and Tomas said, good luck. So you will have 2 weeks to use InterSystems and make our planet more sustainable. I don't know, something. Yes, let's see what we will get.
All right, wonderful. Thank you all. Thank you, Tomas, Evgeny, and everyone who's joined this webinar. And very exciting. Can't wait to see what happens next. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good luck, and let's see what shape you'll be in 2 weeks then.
All right. Cheers.
Okay,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.